What's up, everybody? So I feel like I just have to share this. The next few stories will be about meditation. So if meditation isn't interesting to you, then just like skip and scroll to the next person's story, I guess. But I had an experience in meditation 3 years ago ish that I didn't have any language for, even knowing about a little bit about Buddhism, a little bit about Hinduism and meditation and all of this. But I basically what happened to me was I was sitting in meditation for about an hour, and I had my alarm clock set for 1 hour, and it hadn't gone off yet when this thing happened. So I think I was at like 55 minutes or whatever. Not that the specifics really matter that much. But anyways, what happened was I just felt all of this vibration and all of this buzzing in mostly my hands, my arms, my upper body, like my chest and my head and then my forehead. So it was like all this buzzing energy, and it felt very potent. And at first, and I've only told this story to maybe like 4 or 5 people, but I'm just sharing it now because anyways, you'll know why. In any case, so I felt all this energy and this buzzing and this movement, and then what happened was I didn't know what to make of it, so it was kind of like making me grimace. I was kind of like doing this, like what is this? This is really weird. It didn't feel bad. It was just completely unfamiliar. Like you're entering unknown territory, and I was like, is this normal? Like what is this? So anyway, so I told myself to just relax because the entire point of this meditation is to dive into the unknown, like just relax and go with it. So I fixed my face and I just relaxed, and then before you know it, all of a sudden it was just like like my identity just like got sucked away, and it was still there, and but it was very small. It's like I whatever I is was like watching from this really shrunken place, and I was just like, what the hell is this? And the way that I could describe it is that it didn't feel like there was any separation between me and everything else. It felt like everything was just like one thing. And uh and I and then there was that little part of me that was just like watching it all happen. So anyways, yeah, the reason why I'm making this video now, after like that was 3 years ago, of course I've gone deeper into meditation, and I went for vipassana and all this, but I'm reading this book called Mastering the Core Teachings of the Buddha. And yeah, it's talking about jhanas, and the jhanas are basically different states of absorption and meditation. And that led me to trying to learn a bit more about jhanas, which led me to this video by Michael Taft. And Michael Taft, the way that he's describing the jhanas, specifically the first jhana, is exactly to the T what I felt 3 years ago in that meditation. And I hadn't really experienced anything like that since that day. But like exactly, he's talking about, the terminology is from Buddhism. It's from basically what the Buddha revealed through his meditation to his students or whatever. So that vibrating feeling is called piti in the Pali, so the Pali language, which is the language that the Buddha spoke back in like ancient India, basically. So that buzzing, vibrating energy is called piti. And so the idea is that your mind goes from your object of concentration, which is your breath or whatever it is, to the piti, which is like the buzzing energy. And that's what I did without knowing any of the terminology for any of this. And then once your mind goes towards the piti, that's when zoop, there's that complete absorption. It's like your mind becomes completely absorbed in the sensation of that feeling or whatever. For me, it was kind of just like this open spaciousness. For him, he's saying that it's kind of like a really blissful feeling, like a blissful state of being. And that's the first PT. And for me, it seemed like it only lasted like a few moments, like maybe a few seconds, but I have no idea how long it lasted. I don't know. And then I came back and I could see my, like, I could see my identity coming back. Like, oh yeah, I'm Justin and I'm in this room meditating. And then all of a sudden I kind of like had this weird experience of whatever that was. um, but yeah, I'm making this video because it's so interesting that like of course everything that one could experience with their own state or their own journey through meditation has been completely documented, like, word for word by the Buddha, obviously, right? But I just didn't know that it existed, and I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't have the terminology for it back then. And now 3 years later, like, now I'm kind of just learning about all of this in a way that's very, very, very like documented and systematized. And it's like, okay, first you start here, then you put your attention there, and then this happens, and then that happens. And it's really, really fascinating, man. It's really fascinating.